a bit of radio like yourselves, and I knew I probably wanted to do something in media, but music was the one thing that was the constant in my life. Like I always had music, and it was the one thing I always kind of came back to, so I decided to pursue it.
Now, how hard was it to start out?
Starting out is never easy, man. Like when I first started out, I mean, even starting out as like just a club MC wasn't easy, you know, doing free gigs to just try to get your name out there. And at the time I was living in Newcastle, and I didn't even have cash from the gigs to be paying for the train to come down, so I was hopping trains and running from those chub dudes when they used to have the cats with the blue vests on, you know, like seriously, for real. So it was very hard starting out, but I had good people around me, and I had a down chick at the time as well, and she was always pushing me, you know, keeping me focused and whatnot, and to that end now, I got to a point where I'm starting to see a little bit of success.
Now, you have seen a bit of a success. There's been a bit of hype around the new EP.
Yeah, a little bit.
You've been playing a few big gigs lately. What have you played? What's some highlights lately?
Highlights would definitely, for me, probably the biggest highlight is going to be, it's split. It's Park Life and Home Bake. You know, they have a different place. Park Life was just wild. Like the crowds were wild, and it was the first big festival show that I had done, and we did the whole tour. But then Home Bake was a different thing, because obviously, as you can tell from my accent, I'm from the States. And I came here, and I'm always saying, you know, I feel like Australia's home, and I feel like Australia's home. But, you know, that was just me saying that. But Home Bake is an all-Aussie festival. Yep. And so for them to actually select me to go and play at that, it had more impact than just being a big show. It was like I felt, in a sense, validated, you know what I mean, to actually say that Australia is my home, because obviously it must be if I'm getting asked to do a all-Aussie event. So, yeah.
Now, you were fresh for Home Bake over the weekend. You just did it. How was it?
Just did it. That was crazy, man. That was crazy. I got Wax Motif here with me, too, my DJ. And Wax wanted to jump on and talk about that, too. He was there with me. That was just, you know, real wild. And I think a lot of the time I get kind of lost in the moment, because, you know, I'm up there and I'm doing my thing and I'm focused on what's going on. But Wax is the cat that's kind of sitting in the back and purveying. And he's been with me on every gig so far. Wax, what did you think of Home Bake?
That was crazy, again, for the Australian lineup reasons, and you know, just like chilling out, because everyone's like super friendly. Obviously, like no one really sees themselves as like that much bigger than everyone else, because it's all the same industry, I guess. So it's cool. Everyone that you met was just really chill. Like,
any funny stories from backstage? Did you do any drugs with any other famous artists or anything?
No, I'm gonna leave that as a mystery. We'll just move along. But yeah,
now,
ran out of beer, which was a bit of a problem.
Yeah, so that happened really fast.
Yeah, that happened really quick.
Is that the biggest crowd you guys have played to before?
I don't know. It's hard to say whether that was the biggest crowd, or I think Perth Park Life was still the biggest, because that was the same tent for apparently the Boiler Room for Big Day Out, and that was spilling out. Like that was full and spilling out. So that was probably the biggest crowd we've played to.
Now, your first single, There You Go Again.
Yeah.
That is a crazy film clip.
Yeah.
Where did you come up with the idea for this video clip, and whereabouts in Sydney are you actually travelling?
Man, that was everywhere. We